Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. You know, we spend so much time obsessing over the perfect diet or the ultimate workout routine, right? But we completely overlook what's happening to our bodies the absolute second we open our eyes. Today, we're diving straight into the hard science of early hydration. Let's look at how this one incredibly simple morning habit literally sets the baseline for your entire day. Imagine if I told you that one of the single most powerful health habits you could ever build costs absolutely nothing. No joke. We are constantly bombarded with ads for expensive supplements, wildly complicated diet plans, and intense morning workout routines that take a ridiculous amount of willpower. But what we're looking at today requires none of that. It is completely free, universally accessible, and I guarantee you've got it sitting in your kitchen right now.
Okay, let's be real about the typical modern morning. The alarm goes off and millions of us instinctively grab our phones to start scrolling, or we zombie walk straight to the coffee maker to fix that heavy, sluggish feeling. But biologically speaking, you've just spent the last 6 to 8 hours asleep taking in zero fluids. You are waking up in a literal state of dehydration. What your cells are actually begging for to create energy isn't caffeine, it's just water.
All right, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The morning dehydration problem. 2. Boosting brain and body. 3. Skin circulation and habits. 4. Debunking morning water myths. And 5. Starting your hydration routine. Let's get into it.
Section 1. The morning dehydration problem. Why you wake up in a dehydration desert. So, while you're fast asleep and totally unaware, your internal systems are still putting in the work. All night long, your body goes through what clinicians call insensible fluid loss. You are continuously losing water just by breathing, sweating a little bit, and running your baseline metabolic processes. By the time your alarm finally goes off, you've gone hours and hours without taking in a single drop of fluid to replace what you lost.
And that leads us straight to mild dehydration. Listen, this isn't just you feeling a little groggy. It is a documented physiological state. When your fluid levels drop, your blood volume actually decreases slightly. And that quite literally forces your cardiovascular system and your brain to work harder just to pull off basic everyday tasks. So that morning tiredness, that mental fog, or even those annoying early headaches, this is the biological reason behind them.
Think of it like trying to drive a car on an empty tank of gas. You wouldn't expect to get far on a long road trip without refueling first, right? Well, your body's cellular engine works the exact same way. Gulping down some water in the morning is simply replacing the fuel you burned off overnight so all your internal systems can actually power up and run efficiently for the day ahead.
Moving right along to Section 2. Boosting brain and body. Let's do an internal systems check.
Okay, get this. Your brain is made up of about 75% water. 3/4. Because it has such a massive structural dependency on fluids, even a tiny 1 to 2% drop in your hydration levels creates cognitive latency. That means your concentration, your memory, and your attention span all take a hit. When you wake up feeling completely unfocused, it's so easy to assume you need caffeine immediately, but your brain is actually just crying out for water. Hydrating right out of the gate is a total game changer for mental clarity.
And the benefits just cascade right through the rest of your systems. Let's look at digestion. Water acts as a mucosal lubricant, which basically prevents your GI tract from feeling sluggish. For metabolism, early hydration triggers something called water-induced thermogenesis. This just means your body actually burns a bit of energy simply to process and warm up the water you just drank. And as we just saw, for the brain, it directly sharpens your mental clarity. You're essentially jump-starting your absolute most vital biological systems.
Now, we absolutely cannot talk about internal systems without mentioning your body's built-in filtration center, your kidneys. They do the heavy lifting of filtering waste out of your blood. Think of water as hands down their most important tool. When you're dehydrated, your kidneys have to work major overtime, and in the long run, that can increase your risk for things like kidney stones. Pouring them a glass of water first thing makes their job infinitely easier.
It all builds into this amazing, complete physiological support system. Drinking water helps you maintain a healthy blood plasma volume. Since blood is mostly water, being dehydrated actually makes it thicker, forcing your heart to pump harder. Hydrating early reduces that cardiovascular strain, ensuring your body can easily transport oxygen and vital nutrients to exactly where they need to go.
Section 3. Skin, circulation, and habits. Let's look at the surface level and psychological impacts. The perks of hydrating actually show up right there on your skin.
To be clear, it's not going to magically erase all your wrinkles overnight, but chronic dehydration absolutely leaves your skin looking dry and unhealthy. Getting that morning water helps maintain essential skin moisture. But beyond the mirror, there's a really fascinating psychological side to this. Sometimes our bodies actually confuse thirst with hunger. Drinking water before breakfast helps you identify true hunger signals, which means you're way less likely to reach for unnecessary snacks when you're actually just thirsty. It triggers a profound sense of mindfulness about what your body truly needs.
And this perfectly highlights a really cool psychological cascade. Healthy habits often lead to other healthy habits. When your very first action of the day is a deliberate positive choice for your cellular health, you are neurologically priming yourself for success. People who make a point to hydrate early tend to stay mindful of their hydration all day long. And that domino effect leads to better eating habits, more physical activity, and just a totally different level of attention to overall wellness.
Time for Section 4, Debunking Morning Water Myths. Let's separate the science from the fiction.
We've all seen the internet hype, so let's check that against actual biological reality. The myths are out there loud and clear, claiming morning water is going to instantly melt belly fat, cure diseases, or act as some miracle overnight detox. Yeah, no. The clinical facts are much more straightforward. It supports natural metabolic homeostasis, it replenishes essential intracellular fluids, and as for detoxing, it doesn't magically detox you. Your liver and kidneys already handle that perfectly well. Water simply gives them the exact fluids they need to do their jobs.
So the real benefit here? It just comes down to helping your body function properly. It's not magic and it's not a miracle cure. It's literally just providing your baseline human hardware with the fluids it needs to run efficiently.
All right, our final section, Section 5, starting your hydration routine. Let's talk about how to actually implement this every day.
It really just comes down to a super simple target: 1 to 2 glasses. Seriously, that's it. The goal here is absolutely not to chug massive, uncomfortable amounts of water that leave your stomach feeling totally overwhelmed. The whole point is just to break that overnight dehydration cycle and gently restore your fluid balance after a long sleep.
Keep in mind, hydration is all about bioindividuality. There isn't one universal perfect amount, because your specific needs depend on a bunch of factors: your age, your body size, the climate you live in, how active you are, and your baseline overall health. Drink that first glass to get your internal systems online, and then for the rest of the day, just listen to your body's natural thirst signals.
Well, that brings us to the end of our explainer. So I've got a challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you instinctively reach for your phone to check notifications, and before you drag yourself over to the coffee pot, will you try starting your day with just a glass of water and genuinely see how you feel? You now know exactly the science behind what your brain, your kidneys, and your circulation are begging for. So, are you ready to give your body the fuel it's asking for? Stay curious, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you in the